Welcome, everybody, to the On Podcast, which is the On Microsoft podcast. It's a bit confusing, but the more we say it, the more it'll become everybody's lingo. I'm your host, Kareem Anderson. I'm a writer and editor at On Microsoft, and I'm joined with.
Arif Bacchus. I'm also a freelance writer and editor over at On Microsoft. Been with them for 4 years now, so you probably know me. You've seen me around.
Yeah, he's definitely our hands-on guy, and it's great to have him here today, especially with what we're going to be discussing. Kind of segueing into that, we have our first topic, which is going to be the Surface Duo and some hands-on, which Arif actually had plenty of time with.
Yep, I was one of the lucky few at Best Buy who had a hands-on with the Duo and the software. So we'll be able to get into that aspect. Kareem will ask me questions about the Duo, and
I've
I'll
got
give you
tons of
guys
questions.
all the answers.
Yes.
And that also segues me into our second topic, which is Project Mocha. It's a new flexible canvas tool for Microsoft 365. It's been trending on Microsoft for a few days now, and you guys are really interested in it. So we'll talk to you about it, and I'll tell you my hands-on experience with it. That too, and
Yeah,
Kareem,
plenty of
or
hands-on.
career,
Also, we're going to
career.
be talking
Yep.
about what Intel introduced late in the week. They released their, or at least talked about it, releasing their 11th generation Tiger Lake mobile processors. That also piggybacks on Qualcomm's announcement of the Snapdragon 8CX Gen 2 5G compute platform. That's a mouthful. We'll get into that as well.
And if that's not enough fun for you, we also have a special segment which you will not find on any other podcast. And we like to call it the week ahead. And in this special segment, we'll look at some other trending topics that have been trending on Microsoft. And we'll put it in a little bit of perspective for you guys and try and see what we think will be newsworthy from Microsoft in the week ahead.
Well, that's enough banter and chit chat early on. Let's get into what everyone's really probably here for, and it's the Surface Duo. And basically just the hands-on about it. I mean, I know everyone's talked about the camera leading up to this. They've talked about some of the hardware, but now, despite this odd embargo, what are your feelings in having actually touched the device and played with it? Hey, welcome everybody. We are here at On Podcast, the On Microsoft podcast. We are in season 1, episode 2, and 2 standing for Duo, because we have a very special podcast today. It's all about the Duo. We will hit you with what's up next week, but for the majority of this podcast, we will just be talking about the Duo. I'm here with my great co-host,
Arif Bacchus.
and he happened to grab a Duo. We weren't part of the initial 50 people who got one, but he was, he's well known on YouTube now for his very thorough podcast, his very thorough review of the Duo in person at Best Buy. He now has one. He's had it for about a week or so. And so he's also answered questions on Reddit. We've seen questions on Twitter. We will be answering questions that we got and then questions we have about the device ourselves today. So with that being said, let's just get into the meat of our podcast today.
So to start this podcast, we have a first segment where I answer the questions that you guys had about the Duo. There weren't that many questions like we had hoped, but it is what it is. And we have a total of 3 questions. 2 came from our YouTube channel, and 1 came from a post, my unboxing post, if I'm not mistaken. And they're all pretty simple questions that anyone who picks up this device or buys it would want to want answered. And I'll start with the first question. Someone asked me that if when the Duo is folded back on itself, is the screen on the back blank or does it respond to touch? So that's an interesting question because right away the Duo is closed like this. So what you'll have to do is fold it open like this and then unlock it on the side screen here, and then you get that. But if you want to use the camera, right, you have to fold it like this. So you see, it's sort of buggy right now, like people said. So this screen will have your image, And then if you flip it towards you, the one on the back goes completely blank. And it's supposedly to switch to it, the other screen, you can double tap. Because right now here, it will say double tap. And you can double tap and the screen will come back to you. But the screen on the back that you're not using is always blank. Because you do not want accidental touches and butt tweets from on your Twitter, right, Kareem?
Yeah, especially for us people with chubby fingers that get all over the place.
So anyway, I can show it to you if you want to see it.
So yeah, start off. Give us a quick overview to begin with.
Okay, I'm going to make a couple of little switches here. Hang on.
Get ready, everyone. You're about to witness greatness.
Okay, so we talked about what I call the monster of a Microsoft phone. And here it is. This is the...
Oh my God.
Oh wait.
For those of you listening, he just busted out. Is that a Kin 1 or Kin 2?
It's a Kin 1.
Oh, jeez.
That's everyone's favorite Microsoft phone right there.
Yeah, there's the Zoom stuff. So I found it in the attic when I was looking for stuff to plug in all this stuff. So anyway, this is the actual Z Fold 2. And I wanted to show you a couple of things about it.
Your camera is upside down. We're seeing the phone.
Oh, I forgot to push
to flip it. Button. Yep. There we go. Now we're good.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I wanted to show you a couple of things. One one thing I want to really say about the Z Fold 2 is it's not a duo. It's not, they're made for two really separate kinds of things. One of the things that we talked about is photography, and this has the triple camera in the back, and then it has a camera inside here too. But if you, the one thing
that's different from the Duo, which only has one camera right up here.
Right. So you can open up, and if you're showing off pictures, I haven't actually done it yet, but this is a great thing for cameras. Is that you're showing off the picture on the front, you want to see a bigger picture, and then you have this huge, beautiful display that makes it very easy. If you've ever had trouble showing somebody a picture on your phone and they try and grab it and then the picture goes away and all that kind of stuff and you can't see it, this is a whole different world than that. It does now when you if you're on something on the front screen and you open it up, you get that full view. If you close it up, it turns itself off. So that's a little weird, but I mean, just something to get used to. But I wanted to show you, oops, I can't do it again. There. This is the Edge thing from Samsung, and
it's multitasking.
You can actually set up, contacts, a number of different things. This is a compass, but if you go here, then if you want to drag this to here, and then, oh wait, I didn't quite do it right here.
These kinds of things are always finicky.
Right. So you can drag it down to here.
Ooh.
And then drag another one up to here, and then you have the dual.
And again, for those of you listening, he's doing a split screen from the
on the slide out multitasker.
Yeah, the slide out menu.
Right.
And he's doing it on the front facing screen.
And then if you did you should be able to drop it. I guess not. You can drop 3 or 4 into that thing, but it's still not, if you're looking for a way to have dual screens with 2 different things going on, Excel in one and, and something Word and the Duo is probably a better device to do that with.
That's what I have right here.
Yeah, I think you and I keep going back and forth about the analogous nature of dual screen versus ultra widescreen. Essentially, we've had people still have the debate of which one's better, and I feel like the Z Fold 2 is your ultra widescreen versus someone with the dual monitor setup.
That's probably a good analogy. And you can see that this is Microsoft Launcher. So you can I've set it up a little bit. You can open up and you have 10 different things there, 10 different apps. And then you have different pages. So I have this page just set up for playing music. And then this one is a main screen. And then I don't have anything in the other thing. So you can, it does. It has stereo. There's a microphone or a speaker there and a speaker there. So you have stereo music. I would listen to it the other day for a while, and was reminded of an old AM transistor radio. It doesn't quite have the deep bass that you're expecting from a modern music player.
But still better than the Duo, which has mono speakers only.
Right. It does have stereo speakers. It does have an equalizer. You can set up different things. And then this is actually Apple Music, which comes with my Verizon subscription. So that's why that's there.
How does it feel? How's it feel overall? Like, I know a lot of people have said the Duo feels like a premium phone. Like I said in my unboxing, when I picked it up, you spent $1,400. It feels really premium. So how does the Z Fold feel?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. It feels like a premium device. It's not light. It's it's a metal case, and it's heavy. I mean, it's hefty, but I don't feel like that's a bad thing. I mean, it feels solid and premium.
Does the screen feel like glass?
It doesn't. It doesn't. It does have a factory put on screen protector, and I'm not quite sure whether it's on the front screen or not, because I've noticed that I've already got a few little scratches on the front screen. But it feels, I wouldn't know, like, it doesn't feel cheap by any means. It feels really good. Now, Arif and I talked a little bit about the bezels. There is literally no bezel around the outside here, and I have found myself switching apps when I didn't want to, because and it's sometimes a little tricky, like if you're laying on the couch or something, watching a YouTube video or something, to hold it in place.
I have my Duo on the screen, and I'm showing people my bezels just as a comparison.
Right.
Yours are almost no bezels. Mine's are thick bezels on the top.
Right.
Definitely noticeable.
And I'm also finding that that this front screen is a Twitter machine.
Yeah, that's really nice. It's a candy bar phone, as a lot of people are saying.
Right.
Tall and long.
So you have this, this.
That leads me to my next question, though. Do you find yourself using the front screen more often than opening it full screen?
Actually, both consoles support the same feature, such as quick resume, auto HDR, ray tracing too. But the Series X can run games in native 4K, while the Series S can only supports up to 2K resolution. But most games right now are mostly 1080p, so that's quite a difference. But the Series S can upscale game in 4K.
So do both
pretty good too.
So both consoles have the same SSD and the same
Yes.
speeds and the same
Yes.
loading times, right?
Yeah, right.
There's no difference. Like if someone decides to go for the cheaper console, their games will still load as fast and it won't be slow like it is on the original Xbox.
Right, but the difference is that the Series X has 1 terabyte of storage, more precisely 800 gigabytes, and the Series S has only 364, I think. So yeah, quite a difference. And if you go with the Series S, you'll need external storage. Yeah, okay, you can go with that an SSD.
So you could expand the storage on both consoles to be correct. Is that correct?
Yeah. You can either use USB storage or the proprietary Seagate card, which is quite expensive. I think it's $264, something like that. I think.
You have it, right? And you're planning to review it.
I got it with my own money, and it's pretty good.
You're planning to most of your games. You were telling me off the side before we started. Most of your games you have on the external SSD, right?
Yeah, right. I moved them from my Xbox One X to my Series X first, and then to the Series S. It's really convenient.
Does that impact performance? They're still able to take advantage of all the next-gen features?
Yeah, I think there is no big difference if you want games from external storage. But next-gen games need to be put on the internal SSD because they use the new Xbox Velocity architecture, and that requires the new SSD. Yeah.
So how do the two consoles compare to each other?
Honestly, it's a bit hard to say because for now we don't have a lot of next-gen games that really leverage the new consoles. But I've been playing games like the new Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Watch Dogs Legions, Dirt 5. Both games look great on the two consoles, I have to say, but Assassin's Creed, it runs on 60 FPS on the Series X and just 30 FPS on the Series S. So yes, that's a bit disappointing, but the game still looks good on the Series S, but it doesn't feel like a true next gen game, sorry. Because it's a bit, sluggish, 30 FPS is not great.
So even though these games are very graphically demanding and demanding on the consoles don't get hot or loud, do they?
No. They're really silent. I was really surprised by that. Much more than the Xbox One X that I had before. And they're also pretty cool. So yeah, that's really a nice point compared to the previous generation.
I know that in the previous podcasts where we covered your unboxings, we covered some of the games that you've been playing. So can you tell us about some of your favorite games right now on these consoles?
I think Assassin's Creed Valhalla is really great on the Series X. Yeah, it really looks like a true next-gen game. Other than that, Dirt 5 is also really good. It's a racing game. I like it a lot. But mostly I've been playing old games, that I have in my backlog for so long, like Red Dead Redemption 2, for example. It's also really great on the Series X.
Yeah. Have you been playing some other older games like Forza Horizon or Halo? I know you're a Halo guy, and Halo Infinite unfortunately was delayed.
Yeah, it's been delayed to next year.
And it's holding things back. So does Halo and Forza still look good on these consoles?
Forza Horizon 4 has been patched for the new consoles.
I see.
So it runs at 4K 60 FPS on the Series X and 1080p 60 FPS on the Series S. And yeah, it looks really, really good.
What about
giveaways?
But now we officially have our YouTube star, Mr. Cody Carson, here to talk about the Windows 10 October 2020 update. So before we get into anything, maybe you want to introduce yourself and let our viewers know who you are. I'm pretty sure they already know who you are, but just say a couple words about yourself.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I am Cody here from onmicrosoft.com. Many of you are probably aware by now. I've done videos for the website and on our YouTube channel for a couple years at this point. So yeah, I'm here today joining you guys in a podcast and ready to discuss what's new here in the Windows 10 October 2020 update.
So that's a perfect segue. Let's get started here. What is new in the October 2020 update?
The October 2020 update is sort of, a smaller update, a quality of life, small feature improvements here and there. As always, a couple of new Windows settings here, a couple of new features in Microsoft Edge there. Of course, one of the big ones being is that the new Microsoft Edge is now officially going to be the default web browser that's pre-installed in Windows 10. It's also coming with a couple of new features, such as the new website tabs appearing as individual results in the Alt-Tab menu. Then there's, of course, the new Start menu design, which I think is something that the most people are most excited about with this update. Of course, where they have the live tiles, which have been stripped of their solid color blocks and moved into more of like a acrylic transparent design, which I think complements the new icons a lot better. A couple other things here and there, the notifications, they changed a couple of the ways that the icons appear. There's a couple of new buttons that might appear on them. But beyond that, there's really not too much to look on. What else is there? I think that's most of the big features.
So do you have like a one-sentence summary? Kareem and I review Surface products, and we try to be quick and to the point. So if you could summarize the October 2020 update in a couple of words, how would you describe it?
I guess I would describe it as it just looks a little better this time around.
You have anything to ask, Kareem?
Yeah, I mean, again, as Arif kind of alludes to, we try to get to the point of it. So again, with what you're just saying, is it worth hitting the update restart button for most people?
I think this is one of those updates that most people, if you really, really want those new live tiles, maybe you can look out for it. But it's something that'll just automatically, of course, install on your PC sometime in the next few weeks or month or however their release schedule works out. So I guess it just depends on what your priorities are. I think for most people, it probably won't be the most important update for them, though.
Will it make your computer explode?
Oh, I cannot verify that with 100% certainty, but on the devices that I have tested this update on, it has not yet caused them to explode.
Of
Well,
course.
that kind of leads me to my next question, and without prying too far into it, what is your process for kind of doing the reviews? I know we write about it, and we will review it on our devices. We kind of follow the breadcrumbs left by the insiders when they do their blog posts, kind of go look for those things. Do you have a sort of similar process, or do you have like a checklist of your own where like, I notice this is new, plus whatever they add as well?
Yeah, I'd say my process for investigating the new, Windows features is pretty similar to what you guys do when writing articles about them. Following the news that comes along in the Windows Insider program, as well as seeing what some other Windows Insiders have discovered, as well as things that I run into myself when I do get the update.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that means that you do use Windows. I mean, there are a lot of people who are sort of posers, so to speak, where they'll like go look at the blog, see the checklist, and then make a video based on that, and then they hop on their Macs to kind of do all the editing and everything else, and then you should decide until the next update.
Yeah, I think we all are familiar with some people who are like that. But yeah, I do use Windows on my machines as my primary OS.
Cool.